Okay, today we'll learn about Terraform state. Okay, and to learn about Terraform state, I'll have to perform one of the previous exercise because I deleted everything. Okay, so we'll perform this exercise once to show the difference. So I'm just creating a multi S3 count exercise main.tf. Till then, other people will join. Okay, so we have this Terraform code which will create two buckets. Just do Terraform init, Terraform plan, and Terraform apply, auto approve. So we created this directory just now, okay, and it doesn't have anything except main.tf. And when we do a Terraform init plan and apply, few new directories will be created. Those will be hidden, okay, in the current directory where we are running these commands. Okay, so we'll see that we'll see which are those directories it creates. Okay, okay, so it finished creating. So if you do ls, you can see one of the directories terraform.tfstate. And if you do ls-al, will give us the hidden files as well, hidden files and directories. So we can see it here. Okay, so the .terraform is created when we do Terraform init, and it has all the plugins required for AWS. As in our case, we have provided provider as AWS. Okay, but today we are more interested in this file, that is terraform.tfstate. Okay, this will be always created. Okay, just open this file. Okay, and if you say we created S3 bucket, so whatever details about the S3 bucket it has maintained. Okay, so this Terraform state maintains the state of the resources which we created. So as it created S3 bucket, it created all the details, you can say metadata about that particular resource. Okay, and next time when I do again this run the same commands, okay, terraform init plan and apply. Okay, so if you say, it is saying initializing the backend, so mostly it is searching for where is the .tf state file saved. Okay, so next time when we run terraform init plan and apply, it checks the terraform tf state, so it is refreshing the state. Okay, and it sees that the current state is given in the terraform tf state, so it checks that it has two buckets. Okay, and then it goes to the AWS and it checks if these two buckets are already there at it. As it sees that the current state and the desired state both matches, it doesn't make any changes. Okay, and suppose due to some reason, what I'll do is I'll just delete it. Rather than delete it, I'll move it to somewhere else. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create a backup directory mkdir. In my home directory, I'll create tfstate directory or tfstate backup. Okay, to ls mv. So even Terraform is also creating a Terraform tfstate backup every time we run the Terraform again. So what I'll do is I'll just copy both the files to my home directory's tfstate backup. Okay, and just do again Terraform init plan and apply. So again it is trying to initialize the backend. So it is checking for tf state file. Okay. Okay, now if you see, it is saying to add. Till now it was just skipping it. Okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, and it will give an error as it sees the buckets are already there, but we lost the tf state file. Okay, and this will cause multiple issues. Okay, means we won't have a proper infrastructure, or we'll have to means delete those bucket again and again create the tf state file by running these commands and all, or you'll have to create that file from scratch. So what we will do is we'll just move it back up star both the files. I'll move it back here. Okay, and now I'll do this terraform init plan and apply again, and it will not give that error again. It will say that 0 to destroy, 0 to create, and 0 to update. Now suppose in a production environment we do not work on the single person will not be working on the code, the terraform code as well, where various devops engineers or various system engineers will be working on that code. Okay, so this code will be shared among the various people. Okay, so as it is shared among the various people, what they will do, suppose this code is stored on github. So what the multiple people will do, they will just clone the repository, download the, when they clone it, they will get main.tf. Okay, and then they will run terraform init plan and apply, and in their home directory everyone will have terraform tf state. Okay, and there will be again inconsistency because someone will be deleting, someone will be adding or removing. Okay, so everyone will have different types of terraform tf state files. Okay, and that will again create an inconsistency. Okay, that's why it is recommended not to have the terraform tf state in the local directory, as in our case it is in local directory. Okay, we have to store it in some object storage. Okay, so the object storage, or you can say a centralized storage, which is common to all. So in this case we will be storing it in a s3 bucket. So we'll now create an s3 bucket. Okay, and in that s3 bucket we will store this tf state file, and for that we'll have to write some configuration. I'll show you that. And even though if we save this terraform tf state file at a centralized location in an s3 bucket, okay, if the multiple people work on it, okay, at the same time, uh, it needs to be locked so that tf state file doesn't get modified even in the s3 bucket when the terraform code is in running state. Okay, for that it needs to be locked for some time, the one who gets the first access to it. Okay, and for that we'll have to create a dynamodb table. Okay, dynamodb table, which is nothing but a NoSQL database. Okay, and due to that, as will create some dynamodb table, it will help us in locking the tf state. Okay, so today we will do the same thing. We'll first create an S3 bucket, then we will create a DynamoDB table, and then we will create the Terraform backend so that the Terraform TF state is stored at the centralized location. Okay. So we are doing the exercise number 11. So using Terraform itself, we'll create S3 and DynamoDB. So let me destroy this one. Terraform destroy hyphen auto approve, and this is interview question. definitely they will ask what is Terraform tfstate, and where it is recommended to store the tfstate file.
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so the Terraform TS state is moved and moved back to the original position, but when you say that it is someone deleted it permanently, how do you create it from scratch?
Though there is no way as of now to get it from scratch.
Okay,
So if you see when I removed it, okay, it says that the uh, it already exists. The resources already exist because they are already existing in the Terraform, right?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So the one of the way would be to
Mm,
manually remove those resources and all, okay? Or always have the backup of even the backup of TF states. Okay.
mm,
So
mm,
that's why what we are doing is we are keeping at a centralized location. Okay. No one will have the access to that S3 bucket or any other bucket. It means it is not mandatory to save it on the only on the S3 bucket, but as we are using AWS, we'll use S3. In Azure and GCP, we can use its own object storage.
okay. Now, does it happen to anyone like that by mistake they just deleted the Terraform TS state and
Yeah, it happens, but not till now, not in my environment as of now. Yeah.
okay.
It is just like destroying any configuration file, right, in production.
Mm, mm.
So, so let's create S3 DynamoDB folder. In that, we'll write a code which will create S3 bucket and even the DynamoDB table. And why we need S3 bucket and DynamoDB table? S3 bucket we need to store the TF state file, and the DynamoDB table will help in locking it when it is in use. So this is also an interview question. Main.tf. So give some different name. If we all give the same name, it will not work because it is a global resource bucket. And most probably I may get the error if someone has already created this bucket in the exercise from previous batch, and if they have not deleted it, then I'll have to change this. So I guess there is no error. Somebody already have it. I'll change it. So we are creating the bucket again. So whatever we are doing it now, that is creating an S3 bucket and a DynamoDB table, okay, that the or database that is called as bootstrapping. Okay, so everything is done by code. Okay, but this is the bootstrapping. The first step kind of manually we need to do. This cannot be automated. So first time this has to be manual, and it is kept in a separate folder, you can say, when we maintain the directory structure, and it's called as bootstrapping. There are few things which we need to do manually. So we outputted bucket name and DynamoDB table. Let's copy it somewhere in the notepad. So we will need this in the next step, and make sure you do not use the same name. Just use something else. Just append or add your name into it maybe. And I'll now create, the next steps will be create a new directory structure. Just go one directory back, and it's main.tf. So if you see, we have added a Terraform provider block here. Okay, and after that, now onwards we'll be having one more block, okay, with a backend. Okay, so backend, initially when we run the Terraform init, it says initializing the backend. Okay, so now it will check for the backend block, and it will see it need to check S3 bucket. Okay, the bucket name will be this one. We'll change it, and it will also check the DynamoDB be able to lock it. Okay, so let me change the name in main.tf. And the DynamoDB table name is same, so no problem. So in that bucket it will save a file with this name. We can change it to any other name as well. So it will always check this bucket and this file, okay, for the current and the desired state. Okay, and we are just, so this one will be common. So when we segregate in separate files, so one file will be provider.tf, the other can be backend.tf, and this will be ec2.tf or main.tf, and this will be output.tf. But now we have everything in a single file. It will also output the public IP. And we won't logging into it. We are not adding keys and all. The only thing is we just need to see about the Terraform TF state. So we'll just apply this init plan and apply. So if you see, it says initializing the backend successfully fully configured the S3. Terraform will automatically use this backend unless the backend configuration changes. So now onward, that Terraform TF state file will be updated on the S3 bucket. We'll see that what are its content, and we'll also check our current directory that there is no TF state file now. Now it will be always in the S3 bucket. And if you see, due to the DynamoDB table, Terraform has created a log file. Okay, and now that log file is saved in the DynamoDB table.
Is it creating a copy or just moved?
It won't ever create it now locally. It will always keep it in the S3 bucket.
This particular code does it
No,
cut the
code will
Terraform?
not code will not be in the S3 bucket. Code is locally.
Okay. No, the how the Terraform TF state moved. I mean,
That's how they have configured it. The Terraform has made us gave us some provision. When we add this block, okay,
mm,
it will automatically move it to the specified
S3 bucket.
S3 bucket. Yeah. So due to this block, it goes there directly. But it is going via Terraform only. So we got this public IP. We can SSH into it. So what we will do is we'll just go to. So let's check first ls. Okay. So if you see it is clean, this will always be there. This is there. The Terraform will be always there because we are running it from this machine and it needs plugin. Okay, so this doesn't cause any issue. This can have multiple people can have this directory. Okay, .terraform. But if you see Terraform tf state file is not there, which was earlier here. And let's go to the console and just click on buckets. So if you see a tf state bucket is created. Okay, in that we have tf state file, and let's see if it's possible to open online. No, let's check this. Yeah. So if you say that tf state file now always will be maintained here automatically. So it has details all about our whatever we created, the EC2 instance, private IP, public IP. So sometimes people manipulate this as well. Okay, they will manipulate it. Suppose due to some reason they don't want something to be deleted, then they just comment it here and also comment it from uh, the main.tf. But let's not go into it. It's not recommended to modify it. Okay, so that's was all about the tf state. I'll just do terraform destroy. So terraform destroy will not delete the bucket. Okay, it will always be there until and unless we delete that bucket. So what I have to do is terraform delete destroy auto approve.
This Terraform TS state is a single file for all the
Yes,
resources, or suppose if you create another folder and you provide a easy to instance, there it will create a local
yes,
Terraform
we
TS
can refer it to multiple projects. Okay, but it's not recommended. We should have different files for different projects. It's
state.
how you want to manage it, how you want to do the segregation. It's up to you. You can reuse it or create a new one. Means the bucket itself, we should create a new one.
No, no.
Yes.
You mean to say that if we create a separate folder, a mcdr, and from there we create VPC. So while creating a VPC, when we do the Terraform init plan
Mm-hmm.
and do
Mm-hmm.
there on there, does it create a Terraform TS state?
No, it will you use the same one if you point it to the same one.
Okay.
Even for creating a VPC, okay,
Hmm.
it will use the backend.tf will be the same. Okay, if you want to keep it.
Oh, that is a single file for all the
Yes,
resources.
yes, resources. So after this, now if I want to create a VPC, I'll just add a block below this for creating a VPC. This will
Hmm.
remain the same.
Okay.
It is not per resource. It is for the whole infra which we are creating.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I have done the destroy.